of my dad emails when I catfished him. He thought he was hitting on my ex-wife. In there is the video.
Why is that a regular sentence?
Right.
Why is that okay? Why
it's
does
flowing
that
off the tongue too fast now.
It really is. You just described it and I just said, yeah, sure, that happened. That was a whole year. Yeah, okay.
Right. And there's a video on there taken from the movie Downfall where Hitler is learning that Germany is going to go down, but he's in denial. And this genius, and I don't overuse that word, this genius, J86, 86, of course, that email's reference, on the forums, did one of those caption things where my dad is actually Hitler. And you'll see what I mean. It's 4 minutes long. It's brilliant. And it's over there at /dad. J86 says, damn, I really should put Downfall video on my resume. It's probably the best thing I've ever done, which is both making me super big-headed, but it's also a little depressing. I work in video games. Everything I've ever worked on and put together probably didn't get the numbers that this video is getting. This video is brilliant, Jay. Thank you. Cheers to you. The other day, we were talking about George Santos, the lying congressman from New York. Yeah, in New York, but he's Republican. He's Republican.
The liar. He's Pinocchio himself. I mean,
he really is. He said he's
there
Jewish.
An Olympics for liars? Because your dad, and then this guy is the first person to compete in the Olympics that is lying. And wow, your dad's gonna have to hold on tight to his lying. What do you call it? Medallion.
If I was George Santos, I would really exaggerate the lies. Say now you're dating Emily Ratajkowski. Say now that you're in the Rolling Stones. Act like it and really confuse people. Like, oh, well, of course he was just making up. He was Jewish and that his grandparents were in the Holocaust and that his mom died in 9/11, even though that was 6 years after her recorded death.
Yes, say that you had Tourette's of the lying kind. Some people have Tourette's where they just fuck your mom cunt. Right? Inappropriate. You can't be doing that in just out in the world, regular life. This guy needs to say he has a form of Tourette's that makes him say he's Jewish, makes him say he was in the Holocaust, makes him say he was in 9/11. He was in all the places. I have places Tourette's.
Have him, he said 4 people that worked for him died in the Orlando shooting. That, of course, didn't happen. Say you're Mickey Mouse. Say you are Walt Disney. Get nuts. You said you went to Baruch College in NYU. You were a volleyball star. You were none of those things. Just admit. You said you worked for Goldman Sachs and Citigroup. But then they go, no, you didn't. He goes, well, not directly. Well, then I worked for Chase. Okay. Not directly, but I just paid a late fee.
You know what I think happened? He said, I'm Jewish. And then he followed it with I think this is what Jewish people do. Goldman Sachs, NYU, Baruch Atah Adonai College.
Right. George Santos, the real George Santos, just tweeted out, I've been enshrined in late night TV history with all these terrible impersonations.
Don't make it cute.
But they are all... This is he goes, but they are all terrible so far. This is Donald Trump saying it whenever he's like, it's sad that they're making fun of me.
I hate to say that I agree with him because one thing that I've noticed is that nothing that they could write as a joke, as a joke lie, is as good as the real lies that they're telling. So truth is actually more interesting and hilarious than the fiction could ever be.
You know when that's the best? For the defendant in a courtroom where where late night couldn't even make fun of it so good. It was so good on its own. That's going to be the best opening statement for the opposing lawyer.
And also fuck Jimmy Fallon, because I saw that he had John Lovitz on and doing George Santos, which is perfect. But also John Lovitz famously was the liar character on Saturday Night Live, and they totally missed the opportunity for him to say that's the ticket at all. These fucking guys.
Interesting. Also, Chris Ellis saying, let's not get ahead of ourselves with enshrined. I know it's like using these wonderful words like, look at me. I was enshrined. Yeah. I guess I was made a statue in your altar from my lies.
It's another lie. It's like, and the whole town, every town in America is talking about me today and how somebody tried to spoof me. You're right. Craig's right. The lies are funnier than anything anybody can make up, because I did see the John Lovitz on Fallon, and he goes, I'm not Jewish, I'm Jewish. And the crowd laughs. And it's like, no, the real George Santos. This isn't the joke. You need to know that this liar is in Congress. It's important. He says, John Lovitz is supposed to be one of the greatest comedians of all time, and that was embarrassing for him, not me. These comedians need to step up their game.
It's like when you catch your partner or a friend in a big lie, and their response is, "Oh, so I'm such a big liar."
Right.
And it's like, well, yes, actually, yes, but why do I feel like I'm not being heard or understood?
Right. It so reminds me of my dad. We mentioned the other day how Justin Roiland, who co-created Rick and Morty, has been grooming underage kids. Why your brain just can't think of these magical, sick fucking universes and you not be a creep is interesting. But Adult Swim has just announced they ended their association with Justin Roiland, and Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. And they can, and with that wacky show, they can easily say why somebody's voice changed if they have to.
They break the fourth wall a lot sometimes too.
Okay.
Like at the end of a show, be like, all right, goodbye. See you next season. It's gonna be a great Rick and Morty. Fuck yeah. You know, they do stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said, you sound a little different. Are you going through puberty? Because the kid is always like, I don't know anymore. You know,
I'd rather not talk about it, Morty.
Right.
What is somebody with prestige and fame and a little bit of dough, I presume, right? Probably a pretty nice house. And probably can take Ubers when they want, and then somehow they're so excited, like with their money and their Uber on the way to dinner, they're like, oh man, this 16-year-old really is impressed by me. I gotta know more. I just have to know more.
That's the only thing that's like, you know what? It has to be a disease of some sort, because you have all this. I think we see them as having all of this creativity, and you can't be creative enough to talk to a person your age. It has to be someone who's impressed by less because they've gone through less. I don't know what else other than you must be seeing children different than me, because I can't even conjure up the will to calculate what to say to you. To groom, and we're calling it groom, and I really don't like that word.
6 years of Rick and Morty. Can they take clips and play them in court? Like if Rick and Morty make fun of grooming being a disease, do they get to wipe that off the table and the charges are harsher? All right, here we go.
Lovely.
Let's get right to it. 18 years of Keith and the Girl, by the way. This is the 15th annual KATGuh Awards. Live from New York City, of course, where my rent got raised, what you pay in the rest of America. Hey, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, right? I say that as a boyfriend. I'm like, if you can date me, you can date anyone. So, it's hard, but stick with it. Okay, you can take it, baby. Get all the award shows we've ever done at keithandthegirl.com/awards, the nominations and the follow-up live phone calls to the winners. All right, here we go. The best moments of 2022 AD as picked by you, the listener. So if anything here isn't great or what you thought was great isn't here, that's on you. And you have to live with that. It's not on me. Okay? Now, before we begin, we have an ad sponsorship. Here we go.
As always, I like to start with our sponsor this week. That's I'm gonna be honest with you guys, we've been having a hard time getting anybody to use our sponsors, but
I've been moving that many units.
Maybe this week will be the charm. We had to bring on a new sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Lethargic Reds.
Oh, no.
Do you ever feel like you're just out here doing too damn much? Maybe people told you need to sit your ass down. Well, our sponsor, Lethargic Reds, are here to help you do just that. Every morning, I eat a big, dense block of Lethargic Reds, and I can't do anything for the rest of the day. I spend all day feeling bloated and kind of tired. And if this sounds appealing to you,
why would it?
Then you should go to lethargicreds.com and use code last week. That's lethargicreds.com, code last week. Lethargic Reds, sit your ass down.
Let's see, it's Athletic Greens competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's still gotta be people. We get between us and your show, we'll get everybody.
Right. Right. You ever see like maybe Snooki from Jersey Shore, she might wear like Chanel, and Chanel's like, you quit wearing us and we'll pay you. I feel like there's something here with that. That, of course, Rod from In Your VIP Package last week on Keith and the Girl, Rod and Karen, and they switch off with Bianca. How do I feel about them getting ads on their own and how that could affect me? I'm not sure, but they do a good job, so I guess they deserve it. Let's get to category number 1. Goofiest moment of the year. And we begin with a brand new guest, Dave Ross. This is called I'd Eat Your Dog. Today's guest featured on The Late Late Show with James Corden. I know a joke I saw. He was talking about the PETA. It tells you not to, don't be eating turkeys. Why would you eat turkeys? Would you eat your dog? And Dave's like, would I eat my dog? First of all, it's my dog. I'd eat your dog, Drunk history. Wow. It's your joke.
Keith. You start with paraphrasing our guest stand.
Oh my God. I've never heard my any of my stand-up jokes like I think only like intro? 4 times in my life have I heard someone just say them back to me at all, but to have them said back to me like abridged and sort of like winking, like, you know what you said.
You did it. You didn't mind.
It's a dog and you eat it. You heard it. Say the joke.
He's been on Drunk History. What the fuck with Mark Maron. Dave Ross. Hello, Dave.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm
pulling that clip out of the video of this and I'm posting it fucking everywhere, man.
It's a good joke you had, right?
Thank you. No, I love the joke, and I felt that you liked it, but it also, like, I don't know if it's just that you guys are New Yorkers, and I'm not around New Yorkers as much as I used to. Like, you fucking with the dogs, yeah, they don't eat them. Eat them, though.
Dave Ross.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. Yeah, totally. And that joke, what's funny is that, like, so that joke is, you could argue that joke is, like, politically conservative of me. It's not. It's just a silly joke, but you could argue it, right?
Sure.
Because what I'm saying is, like, PETA is terrible, and I very much believe in animal rights, and I don't need to go on that rant. But I say that in a joke. But I also say that PETA is very stupid about it, and the way that PETA goes about it is very annoying because they manipulate human beings into doing things, and they're like, you wouldn't eat a turkey, so why wouldn't you? You wouldn't eat your dog, so why would you eat a turkey? And my argument is that I would eat dogs. I just would. And but whatever. No, I wouldn't. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, my point is,
Keith, you shouldn't have done that. Look what you did.
No.
I see. First of all, Dave, admit I was close. Okay. Secondly,
we're very close. No, you were closer than I am.
Yeah, here and back, I got to say, I was pretty damn close. In fact, I'm going to play the clip now when he was on Corden. But what do you think, Craig, being a listener, when I do paraphrase somebody's joke? Do I paraphrase it wrong? Am I doing it a disservice or a favor? Because, not to put words in your mouth, it's always these new comics that are like, hey, that's not the way I said it. If I was talking to Gilbert Gottfried, rest in peace, if I'm talking to Laurie Kilmartin, they never correct me paraphrasing a joke. I know what the punchline is. I know when the audience laughed the most.
Yes.
We absolutely don't know what Keith feels about this. Craig, would you like to give us an unbiased opinion?
Yeah, well, my unbiased opinion is the thing that I think makes it, my real answer, the not comedic answer, is that Keith is a fan, and that's what makes it fun to hang out with him and fun to talk about these things with him. And he responds to people totally unbiasedly. If you are somebody in the audience, or you are the person telling the joke, Keith will recall it in the same way with excitement and or not. And
so your not joke response is he's a fan, so you like the way he recounts it. So but your joke response is,
my joke response is is that it's obviously very uncomfortable. I forgot what is the category here?
Most goofiest. Most goofiest.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's goofy. I think it is goofy, but obviously it's appreciated, and it's just meat on the bone.
Are they mad because I'm telling them about word economy? And they're like, no, that's not. There's more to it. Like, yeah, but there wasn't really more to it. You were just trying to get here, and you didn't need the other stuff to get there because they knew they were coming to a show.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's okay. I get what you're saying. I think it's cringeworthy because it's in their introduction. Oh, here comes a new guest. Now you don't know this guest yet because he hasn't been on our show in particular, but you might recognize a joke that you heard on late night TV wherein he says how much he's willing to eat a dog. PETA, go suck your own ass. Now here it is, Dave Ross. You know,
he has many opinions on PETA, and
yeah.
he's into animals. He won't get into that today, but
it's just it's interesting, like because when we introduce people in the wild, right, we used to go like, and she's a female comic, what, and it's like, oh hi, I'm a regular person, or like and welcome Chemda, and like some Middle Eastern music starts playing. So you're sort of doing that with one of their jokes. You are representing their whole shit. Welcome to this guy. By the way, this guy's whole thought process is go ahead and eat dog. Anyway, our new buddy, Dave Ross.
Do you think Dave thinks that people are hearing it and that Dave comes out and goes, hey, PETA's like, would you eat your dog? And I'm like, I'd eat your dog. Good night, everybody. That's my whole personality. Here's the full joke. You tell me if I misrepresented it. Here's the full joke on James Corden.
My favorite one they put up, it's the same every year on Thanksgiving. It's a picture of a turkey, and it says, you wouldn't eat your dog, so why would you eat a turkey? What, because? I don't know. What is this logic? You wouldn't eat your dog, so why would you eat a turkey? You wouldn't have sex with your sister, so why would you have sex with your wife? Because I don't have sex with my family. I also don't eat my family. That's the thing they don't seem to understand. It's not that it's a dog, it's that it's my dog. I'll eat your dog. Yes. Wow. Think about what you're all clapping for. I will eat your dog. It's true, man. I eat meat. Cook your dog. I'll eat it. Let's go. I live in California.
Okay, I guess I could have kept the extra parts, right?
You know what?
You definitely misrepresented it. You definitely misrepresented the joke.
Actually, I don't even know why he does it that way. He should just do it the way you introduced him with. He's like, hi, I'm Dave Ross, and I will eat your dog. I'll eat your dog. I'll eat your dog. Thank you. Good night. Don't forget, cook it and I'll eat it. Is it your dog? I'm there. Goodbye.
It is. God. But it's good. That's what makes it an interesting interview. You know, that's what makes you good with guests and comedians, because it is
and that's what makes you good as Keith's friend. You're philosophizing his fucking needling of a human being.
It's so close though to like the Chris Farley character. Like, remember that time when
Remember when you were in the Beatles? Yeah.
You remember when you were in the Beatles? It's fucking great. That song that you did, it was fucking good music, right?
Up next, for most goofiest moment of the year, you picked from episode 3515, Who Run the World with Melody Kamala and Carolyn Bergier. What's that, Kamali? What did you just say, Chemda?
What you said, Kamali. I just like repeating her name.
Yeah. Melody Kamali?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a lot of Y's. That's a person's name. This is Keith Loves Women. Let me ask you this. I don't know who wants to take it first, Carolyn or Melody. How fucking great are women?
Carolyn, go first. She's the fullest.
Carolyn, am I wrong?
They're phenomenal.
They really are, right?
Yes.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Melody?
I love this stuff.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh my God, I love it. The way they look, crazy. Smell, feel, everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dig it.
That's how I feel. I love it.
Oh, Keith, you're such a dyke.
Thank you. I think I love women so much.
With the sleeveless top?
Yeah, yes. That gives me room for arms and fingers and stuff. I love them so much. I do. I really do. This is Keith in real time. I really do love them so much. And to be able to talk to women that love women in such a way as I do is freeing and a joy.
Now, so, I don't, you didn't hear me during that. And all I can imagine is I'm just looking at the guests, looking at Keith going like, one of the guests, it was their first time there. And I could see Keith getting into whatever version of crazy that he's in that moment. And Melody's been here before, so she's like, "Oh, all right, Keith is throwing a ball at us, and we get to decide what to do with it." And they both finally are like, "Wait, he's on our side here. He's saying good things because his face looks like he's making fun of you, and his words sound. If anyone else was saying it, you'd be like, I think these are nice words." But then his tone and the disdain in it just carries this weight, and you're like, "Should I pick up this weight or should
Disdain, I love him.
Look at the Muppet sound in your tone."
Right? It's unreal. I'll tell you so famously, at least if you go to the chats on Wednesday nights, I often listen to a lot of Keith and the Girl shows in the shower. When I shower, I take long showers. And so when I was listening to this episode in particular, I was, laying down in the bath, hot steam all over. And when it got to that part, I could audibly hear the knuckles in my toes crack. I was so like, oh, what the fuck is he doing? What are you doing? Because there's no way that they can get the complexity and the goofiness. It's so funny. Can we talk about the category that we're in? This is goofy. I need a definition on what we're voting on ahead of time, because this is something. I don't know. It's goofy.
It's weird.
Most complexity.
I think goofy is when your head when you hear it and your head tilts like, That's goofiest. Where you're like, Keith is saying words. Where imagine Keith coming into your world and you're in person. He goes, yeah.
What was that? I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Yeah.
There's something with your tone that I can't hear. That's funny. All right, up next.
But wait.
Yes.
Were you and just be serious for 1 second with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I love women?
No, I know you
love them.
I know you do. I know
so
you
much.
do a lot. But were you goofing on that, or were you actually and wholeheartedly just trying to identify with two lesbians that are on your show, like you imagine they might really feel?
I'll tell you why that question's offensive. I would have to be so fucking goofy if I really was 100% genuine and not know it sounded weird. I knew it sounded weird.
Okay.
But
Yes.
It would still pass a lie detector test because I do love the way women smell, look.
And
feel.
this is why I know you don't really like Limp Bizkit.
Hey, if it makes you happy.
You just did. You tried to call him out on it, and somehow you're the offensive one now.
I know.
Under the goofiest moments, you got serious for a minute with Keith, thinking it's going to go to a good place.
Yeah,
Here's another goofy moment. 2023. Fred Klein goes, seriously, buddy, Limp Bizkit. Not really, right? I gotta love you. I gotta love you.
Of course it's stupid, but yes, I love it. Okay.
All right. We're going to go to the next one that the audience picked out. And we appreciate you picking out these clips, because if you don't care, then we don't care. From episode 3573, Tony Pizza with Danny Vega. This is Tony Pizza.
My boyfriend won't stop calling me Tony Pizza.
Oh, it's funny to call someone Tony Pizza.
I, F21, and my boyfriend, male 21, live together. We've been together 4 months.
That's a good age, by the way, for Tony Pizza.
Right?
You only have 6 more years on D's Nuts, kid, so.
I think we agree. It's not Am I the Asshole, but
you keep doing it. They're laughing. You're not getting laid. Fantastic.
What's it giving you? What's Tony Pizza's been giving you?
Somebody thinks it's funny, and she's dry. Okay. Tony
Good
Pizza.
luck.
Do the math, Tony
that.
Pizza.
You getting laid lately? No, Bob, but
Tony Pizza has been fun as fuck.
I call her Tony Pizza. It's her name, right? Yeah.
But I am annoying the shit out of someone, so.
And then what do you do after you call her Tony Pizza? What's that? Like, what do you do after? Like, you have her attention now. Oh yeah, just go. Hey, it's Tony Pizza. I'll say. No, you already said that. I might say it again. And then what do you do? But she heard her name. Yeah, so what do you do then? I said her name. I called it Tony Pizza earlier. Right. Then what did you two do? Because I said Tony Pizza, so she hears it then. Are you even asking her for something? He's not real. He's Tony Pizza. No, she's Tony Pizza, right? Then what do you do? Tony Pizza. I don't know. I don't know what I do. I don't know who I am. I'm Tony Pizza. I was Tony the whole time. That's why I said it. Because I want to be Tony Pizza. There's nothing about her that I especially love pizza. She doesn't have an Anthony in her family. She's not Italian. She never understands the appeal so much it seems racist. So I must be Tony Pizza. Okay. You ever think I say baby because I want to be fucked by a baby? All right, and that's the skit on Tony Pizza. You never know where it's going to go sometimes.
The Tony Pizza skit. Now with
Anthony! And done.
So this one.
Daddy, I'm halfway done.
I
Picture this guy at the fucking orchestra show.
It was over.
You guys know the orchestra show? No, you got to wait till it's over for sure.
That's how Tony Pizza feels. She's
Yeah.
like, I thought it was done. Okay.
Tony Pizza.
Okay, Keith.
Hold on, no, that was
How
just.
will I know?
No, that
Okay, I'm
was just
so
a power
sorry.
move.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Tony Pizza. Okay, done.
All right.
Oh, suck my dick!
I'm so sorry,
Danny!
Keith. I am sorry. I thought it was over. The bell. I thought it was over.
I need to stop laughing because I know it keeps going on if I laugh.
Now I got to start all over. Okay, so he goes Tony Pizza, and the friend's like, then what do you do, right? And done. Danny, I'm done.
Are you sure this is
Danny,
really done?
this is done. We're
Okay.
mature done.
This is really done.
That's the end of it.
This is really done.
Yes.
So this.
God damn it, Danny!
God, I
This
double
was
checked with you.
all of that was
I
planned out.
double-checked.
It's just this. And done.
Okay, Keith, is it really?
Yeah, it's really.
No, really. I'm
Yes.
double checking.
Yeah.
I'm triple checking.
No, that was it.
Really?
I
Okay.
was kind of like doing crowd work, but I know what I can
Yeah,
make you
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Then I make you say that. Then I'm like, you son of a bitch. And now you just got
Right,
Tony
right.
Pizza.
So it's really done. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, really done. now.
Well done pizza.
It was a good bit. Oh my god,
Yeah.
such a good bit. Keith.
Yeah. Oh, too much.
Whew.
All right, give us
Whoa.
another one. Classic bits. You know what? It is Chemda's fault. Like if she, you know what? It's almost like that woman clip, Me Loving Women clip was her fault. Because if your head goes, huh? I'm like, now we got something.
I
That
know.
is 100% goofy. That is goofy to the max, and I loved every second of it.
Excellent.
No confusion
excellent.
about Tony Pizza's goofiness.
There's no confusion. That is the definition of goofiness. It's goofy. It's goofy. It's
All
goofy.
right.
I don't know.
It's not shocking. It's not, you don't have to think about it too much.
It's not
Look how-
cringy.
Look how
It's
verklempt
just-
he is already. Imagine at your funeral what Craig is gonna. You're not gonna be able to have words. You're not.
Oh no. I can't speak at funerals. I like to take selfies at funerals, because then people are like, what the fuck is he doing? And it turns the emotion into something else.
I take a selfie and then I show it to people and I go, I knew him the most. And then I leave. All right. Up next.
Tony Pizza is so good. That could be animated. And you know what I was really like visualizing these like cut screens every time that the paper tore.
Right.
It's like to a different camera angle and like to a different costume. And it's like I was really going places with that. I should really listen to your guys' show in headphones more often.
Do maybe, hey, J86, can you learn animation?
Yeah, J86, if you could learn animation, that would be great.
Up next is a clip from Q&A in your VIP package with Newsy. Q&A episode 109 from the show Me, Chew, and Chemda 2. And people pointed out a lot of segments from this. The Yummies games, us judging what states in America are shaped the best and the worst. Tennessee looks like a rectangle, but then it's just a at the end. Best sex club. We were talking about, like, I could picture going into like an Eyes Wide Shut thing with masks, and Billy Procita's there, and he looks right at my mask. Keith Malley, how are you? I'm like, no, fuck, you know. And then somebody else is like, oh, you met Master Blue Eyes. But this clip right here is called Chemda the Genius, and we're celebrating her birthday.
I heard that Chemda, the birthday person, just got back from doing a coaching session.
We did a coaching session, and I don't want to brag. Chemda's a genius, and we were very fucking good. Don't shake your head, no, Chemda. That takes away. We were very fucking good.
Okay.
She's so good. She's so smart. When I know a psychiatrist can't psychiatry themselves, but Chemda's life should be perfect. She is so fucking smart.
It's those who give advice. They rarely take
right.
The advice,
There's givers and takers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Those who can't give advice.
I'm hungry. I don't know what to get. You know, but I was a waiter. Yeah, I hear you.
I couldn't cook a fucking thing, but I got food in my hands all goddamn day.
Right. Mike, I should have saved the clothes just to smell them, like a weird diet.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah, well, it helped me not eat. But anyway, that's a different point. Chemda is so smart and so clever and so, like, knows
Perceptive.
how to...
Does she pick up on stuff?
So knows how to pick up on stuff. Jeez. So knows how to do exactly what you just said. And then, like, oh, sorry, earlier you said your mother... Yes, she did! She did say that earlier.
So she does that thing where she listens and like gets context
so
clues.
Listens. Yes. And then she goes, but I think you said, who am I to say? Boom! Mic drop. Who the fuck are you to say? Who the fuck are you to say?
It's like as a counselor, Chemda's like the Donnie Darko thing where she can see the thing coming out in front of you and she knows where it's gonna go. The little trail of shit. So
I didn't know what was happening in that fucking movie, but yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah, you've heard us on Keith and the Girl before, and I'd say guest says something, I'm like, I don't know, Chemda, what the fuck are they saying? And she knows because she reads all these self-help books and everything. She's an amazing co-host.
Hi, we're back. I swear that so went with the clip that it took me
100%.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, Keith is back in his scrubs. Keith, why are you wearing scrubs?
What the fuck?
We had a Figs scrub sponsor.
Fuck.
And taking out these clips is surgical precision. More so, I'm just pulling a George Santos, to be honest. I don't know. They're just comfortable. I love them. And I don't have my Harvard shirt anymore. So
here's what's funny to me about that clip.
Did somebody make you throw out your? Sorry, I do want to hear.
It was getting rips. It was just getting rips. A little ring around the collar after all those years.
Wow. Did you have to like say a
sad.
prayer?
Yeah, I showed up to that funeral. That's the irony. Yep. No offense, Mom.
So, Craig, what was funny about that clip?
So what's funny about that clip is, the way that Keith came back to it seems like he thinks that he was being absolutely sincere. And
yes, all these are. I love women, and Chemda's a genius.
Okay, see, I'm totally confused. But also, for anybody out there who's thinking to themselves, maybe I shouldn't quit drinking because I'm really the life of the party and I can really go there and with the help of alcohol. Let me tell you that when I was hanging out with Keith and he was getting smashed drunk and we were hanging out like that, this is the exact same Keith. So you can go there. It's muscle memory. You just have to tap into it and be that, like, go back to the party inside of you and you're on it. That show was incredible for that. That's the entire time I was like, this is like hanging out with Keith in his old apartment on Clinton Street. This is fucking great. You were really on one that night.
Q&A, obviously, in your VIP package.
And that's at keithandthegirl.com/VIP. We hope everyone becomes a VIP member. It's our version of Patreon because Patreon didn't exist when we started a VIP section. Andy is saying, I never want to be complimented from Keith.
Why not? You sound like a great guy. I bet you're smart. I bet you make people think. I bet you're engaging. These are great qualities. From episode 3612 of Keith and the Girl, What's that, Craig?
Wait, are we still on Goofy?
Yes, there's a lot of goofy ones. It's going to be hard for the listener to really pick.
Oh, this is really tough.
Yeah. This is 3612, bearing the lead with Christian Finnegan.
This is good.
This one is Ladies and Gentlemen and Others.
Oh,
KeithandGirl.com/forum. Say hi, interact, and also while you're there, nominate your favorite moments of the year. Ladies, gentlemen, others.
No.
What?
No.
We don't do that, right?
Start over. Go ahead.
Others, then squares. Okay.
Welcome, squares and rectangles, triangles, and everybody.
Welcome, people that have fun in life and boring dorks that go by male or female.
Nope. Okay.
What? Hello. Hey. And then done.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Christian Finnegan.
You know, I already feel like I'm behind the 8 ball on this because you just got done talking about this amazing episode and how hilarious it was. And it's an instant classic and everybody loves this episode. And then you just stumble into my intro so awkwardly. And it just really has gotten things off to a bad start. And I can already tell that this will not be a classic episode. And I'm not blaming myself for that yet. I will. But so far, this is on you.
And this guy, I could say guy, kinda, right?
What, Christian, do you identify as guy?
Yeah, sure.
Do other people identify you as guy?
No.
Increasingly less so.
Increasingly less so. You know what's funny about replaying these clips? Is that Chemda makes the exact same reaction. That's how you know she's pure. She makes the exact same reaction as last time. Ladies, gentlemen, and others, she shook her head no. The other clip where I'm like, she's shaking her head, she was shaking her head in real life. It's
we should do a side-by-side like they did for the Queen movie when he learned all the choreography.
Right. And of course, it was a classic episode because that's where we shared my mother's passing.
We shared. That's where you had a smug look on your face. And we should have known that you knew something and were going to drop a bomb on us at the end of the episode. But not such geniuses.
My mom was there just one more time for me to make Christian feel bad and weird. So thank you, Mother. Also, from that same episode, Bearing the Lead, episode 3612.
By the way, he's saying burying the lead. Just saying.
I type them. I don't say them, these titles. Let's see. This is from the same show. People wanted me to at least have some segments that were from dad emails, and this seemed to get the most likes. Dad's email on mom dying. Do your children know of this situation as it is unfolding? Dad replied, yes. The nurse supposedly replied, good. It is important that they do, for them to have their own closure to the matter. I then told her what I had sent to each of you in my last long communique. And
she was horrified, unless this is a false story.
She proceeded to chastise me and said, quote, you should not have said all that. Kids need a closure to this situation, and unless your kids are extremely spiritually minded, doing it at a distance is not sufficient.
Okay, back to not reality.
I told her that I've not forbidden any of you from coming to the funeral. Okay. But she told me what I need to do, that I need to do more than that. Okay, so here goes.
What kind of conversation is this with another human being? Who has this? Has anyone had this kind of conversation? We have people who work in hospice. And I shall say that you shall pass these words to your children, for they should have a chance. What?
Are they as per spiritual?
It was really strange. It's really difficult for me to transcribe this conversation from the tablets they're carved into.
Right.
Keith, I'm so sorry that your mom is going to die in a fortnight.
So I don't know if this, apparently this is what the nurse said to say, all this. Okay, let's see.
Oh, okay.
If any one of you desire to attend, as stated before by me, you are more than welcome to attend the funeral. If you do not, for whatever reason, do not feel obligated by what I or your mother or your mother would think on the matter. The reasons were already expressed in my email called apparently imminent disclosure. However, if you desire to come, you are welcome to stay at my place. But the nurse said this, you're welcome to stay at my place. But remember, I only have one spare bed and a lounge chair, and long sleeps are not exactly fun in a lounge chair. At my age and body condition, I cannot prudently give up the bed that I am sleeping in. First one to reserve the spare bed gets it.
He knows he's emailing grown adults, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. I don't know. Sometimes men don't remember the ages of their children. I don't know.
And do you remember when he said about giving away the house? He's like, each of you write me a letter and I will determine who did. Nobody wrote him a letter. Tell me you want the house and I'll decide who he wanted to turn into a game show. That's why he's turning the spare bed first. Reach me in private and I'll sit. Oh, is there floor space? I'll get back to you. A lot of people are calling today. I do have amply floor space for blow-up mattresses, but you would have to supply your own such mattress.
Is this man, does he know of hotels? Is he familiar?
Also, your mother is dying. Let's figure out the mattress situation before there's a real hubbub in the family.
But this is what the nurse said to tell me. As mentioned on another type of occasion, there's... another time we talked. In the business, we call it a callback. As mentioned on another type of occasion, there's a bed and breakfast about 1.5 blocks from my place. That is about 3 blocks from the funeral home. When not in use...
Giving you directions. Your mother's fucking dying.
When not in use, it has 3 bedrooms. I am willing to cover sleeping costs, whether at that location or in Johnstown, Richland area, or in Ebensburg. As long as you do not rent a, quote, castle-type unit. He thinks we're going to try to scam him. Like, hey, here's the bill. I got a fucking castle-type unit. Well, I was thinking something modest, son. You said.
As long as you don't open the minibar.
Right.
Hello, Holiday Inn. Do you have His Majesty's suite available?
Xerxes brings up, is the nurse paying for the room? What did she say to him?
Do you realize that first person who emails him back gets the spare bed and space on the ground for the blow-up mattress that they bring?
Right.
But if you're too slow, he'll pay up to a week in a not castle hotel. But you don't get to stay with daddy.
Right.
So hurry up.
I presume that since each of you have very decent jobs, cost of travel would not be a problem. But if it is, contact me personally. I am certain that neither Mom nor I would want any of you to go into debt over the matter. But likewise, we do not expect you to treat your travel like a high-end vacation cost. Amazing to hear. Your job is to help us, not to fuck us up.
Bosses don't talk that way when they're trying to give you instructions for things that might be even life-threatening. No one speaks like that.
Jesus Christ. Rankin writes, is Keith cosplaying as the hospice nurse? Maybe subconsciously. I did just hear these clips recently. Chris L is saying, wait, did the category switch from most goofiest to never happened?
God, what a terror that whole situation is. And also how you how that entire episode went. It was just
listening back to it, and I keep saying your mother is dying, and you know that your mother is already dead. Oh.
And I knew, and I was watching it, I was listening to it live, and I was like, I can't believe he's doing this to them.
Really?
Why would he be doing this to them?
Because you already knew.
And I was watching his like dead look when he was when they were talking about it, and I could just see it in the back of his head, like, oh, just wait. Oh, you'll see.
It's such a different episode before you know that his mom is dead, and after. It's a whole. There's a lot of people who, if you did listen live, and if you did listen before the spoiler of mom passing, it's very strange to keep repeating that line. Mm-hmm. Anyway, if you did listen, a lot of people listened again because it's like watching The Sixth Sense. Once you know the spoiler, you're such a crazy person. Can we say crazy?
Thank you. So those are your clips for Goofiest Moment. We have I'd Eat Your Dog, Keith Loves Women, Tony Pizza, Chemda the Genius, Ladies and Gentlemen and Others, and Dad's email on Mom dying.
So do we put up $1 for the one that we want each, and then sort it out at the end with whoever? Yeah,
sure. Put $1 down. All right. So now we're gonna go. I got enough going on.
You know what?
I got enough going on.
Craig, is this what you were thinking? Why isn't he taking that seriously? He loves bets. Why can't we just bet?
Betting.
He said yes. Why is he trying to move on? Am I making his life harder? I thought I was being a Keith Malley friend on a show.
That's it.
And Keith is like, I can't keep track if we're still on Goofiest Moment. This fucking guy wants me to start keeping track of bets. And then Craig is thinking, no, someone else can keep track.
I'll make an Excel sheet. I got no problem with this.
Make an Excel sheet, put your vote on there, and rate $1. All right. One of our ads that we had was Policy Genius. You would go there, and they would tell you the best way to get insurance. I believe it was life insurance. You know, they're the main hub. Well, Rod on Last Week on Keith and the Girl got his own sponsor.
We are sponsored here last week, and we have a brand new sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay. May have caught a preview of this sponsor. I may have mentioned it during Jackbox night, but this episode is sponsored by Policy Idiot.
Oh, no. The opposite of Policy Genius.
No one wants to think about life insurance.
Right.
So why do it? With Policy Idiot, you can make sure your loved ones and the people who depend on you get nothing after you die. Because fuck them, right? You're not going to be here anymore, so why do you care?
What
and
have
keep in mind,
done for me lately?
The number one motive in the killing of spouses on Snap is insurance money. So you're probably increasing your life expectancy because no one's getting a big payday when you're not here anymore. You've seen Dateline. Why bring that drama into your life? Go to policyidiot.com. Use code last week and you can pay $250 a month for no reason, really. But it's $250 that your family won't get after you're dead. Policyidiot.com.
Did they accept one-time fees?
Oh, yeah. They accept everything.
Oh, right. They don't care.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
Of course, we add all these sponsors to keithandthegirl.com/coupons. So if you missed a little of what Rod said, keithandthegirl.com/coupons.
Policyidiot.com. Go give them your money.
Somebody had a brilliant idea. We should do /coop-offs. For you motherfuckers.
That's pretty good.
I like that.
And Bianca said hi too, of course. That's a Policy Idiot. All right, next category, saddest moment. What made you cry the most this year? We have 3 in this category. Top 3 saddest moments of the year. Okay. All right. We're going to begin hot right away. From episode 3527, Thank You, Dad, with Liz Miele. This is Remembering Gilbert Gottfried. That was this year. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
boy,
he was on last year's marathon. And that was 2022. So he hasn't really even been a year.
I remember not knowing if we had anything to do with the death. He visited our studio that had a long walk up and he could barely move and he's reaching for the rail, but I'm not really trying. I don't want to emasculate him or anything. I'm trying not to reach out too much. I just act like I like to be close to people when they're walking up steps, you know. No big deal. No big deal.
You definitely did kill Gilbert Gottfried.
67 years old. He passed away April 12th of last year. He, of course, was the Affleck doc, and he made jokes on Twitter about the tsunami in Japan. I said, hey, did you know that Japan had like 90% of Affleck's business? And he goes, I do now. And then they hire somebody to take his place that screams Affleck like he did. Because I don't know if anybody knows, in case you don't know this, ducks don't really talk human words. So the new guy isn't doing the duck impression. He's just doing a Gilbert impression. And Gilbert couldn't understand why he couldn't still do it. He's like, okay, then how about this? Progressive. All state. Here it is, Remembering Gilbert Gottfried. We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our beloved Gilbert Gottfried after a long illness. In addition to being the most iconic voice in comedy, Gilbert was a wonderful husband, brother, friend, and father of his 2 young children. Although today is a sad day for all of us, please keep laughing as loud as possible in Gilbert's honor. Love, the Gottfried family. People are asking, how did he die? How did he die? He ran the Boston Marathon right after he did 2 Ironmans. How did he die? Come on, how did he die? I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
We actually don't know.
Chaz says, wow, a Gilbert Gottfried moment I think of all the time is him reviewing Drake's God's Plan on Keith and the Girl and reflecting on why he chose not to become a songwriter. He's like, well, this is God's plan. God's plan. This doesn't seem so hard. Yeah, he was on the marathon, of course. Yeah, I thought after we tried to kill him with those steps, that might be the last time we get to see him. But he was always game, right? There's a theory because people know, it's understood that he was a cheapskate, and he definitely liked collecting things for his house. In that movie Gilbert, for example, there's a huge Rubbermaid thing under their bed of hotel shampoos and hotel soaps. The guy's a multimillionaire easily, and when he was at our place, we bought 7-Eleven sandwiches and we cut them in half so they'd look fancier, unwrapped, of course, and some sodas and a little bit, those little tiny wine bottles. We knew that he's thinking he's going to get away with something and take all this shit with him. And he always did. And it was a joy to see. But he said that he's like, I'll go to other film sets and eat their food and they'll just think I'm on the film and nobody says nothing. And I said, what do you like better though? That you're getting free stuff or that you're getting away with something? And he said, that I'm getting away with something. So like he's sneaking soda stuff in the bag and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, we can't see you. I enjoyed that so much.
Pictures of that setup. We thought we were so fancy.
Yeah.
We're like, look, we got fancy company coming over, but we have a budget.
Right.
So we cut it up and put a tower of sandwiches. Like it was, you have your variety, that's how catering works. And then your sodas and wines and things. So he took all of it home.
If you put anything on an angle, it looks fancier. That's what I've really noticed.
That's good.
It really changes things.
Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, this could sound like a weird brag, but I like that he liked us, that he was game for anything, silent trailers, whatever it is. But we did fuck up a couple times for him not to be into doing the show anymore. For one, I hire an Uber to pick him up and drop him off at my house instead of the studio. He got out of the car, made one of the biggest mistakes of his life. So, he doesn't know where to go next. He's like, someone always helps me. We were able to figure it out, but that was a scary one. The steps that we mentioned was one. One time he took the 7-Eleven sandwiches and Coke, but he took half of a little Coke that he drank from, thinks he screwed it on. Looking back, he didn't, because I'm carrying his bag to the car and I see his bag is dripping soda. And I'm trying to tell him we got to take his out. No, it's good. I'm going to steal it from him. I'm like, okay, but it's dripping. And he's getting into the car with this soda all over his lap in the car. And I'm like, you're a grown adult. What can I do? And I shut the door and I'm like, I guess I never see you again. And then we did. And that feels good.
It sounds like he doesn't hold grudges.
Maybe not.
He has fun, I think.
Right.
I think he actually says yes to things that he will have a good time in. And I think he just likes to be on stage.
Yeah.
Do you think he knew taxes were due and he's like, fuck them? Is that a thing? You start taking orange juice from other people's movie sets. That's cool, but you got to go big eventually. It's progressive. It's a progressive disease.
No, it's Affleck.
What I wish they did, they just had the funeral. I would have had an open casket and then put a nice spread out right in front of it to know for sure. So sad, so sad. He's one of the first comics I saw live. Caroline's in New York City. Ford Fairlane, of course, one of the best movies ever made. The Roast, The Aristocrats. Just a bummer. Just a bummer.
Chris Ellis saying,
I'm seeing it too.
Also, probably the best Gilbert interviews are his KATG eps, when he told stories about his childhood growing up and it was personal. I got to say, that's where Keith pushes lines and Gilbert was just so comfortable with it. I'm giving you the credit for those amazing interviews. They're available as clips on our YouTube page and they really are great. For Keith to just joke about him losing money or whatever weird way he grew up, because we all grew up in some kind of awkward way. It was just oh, are you allowed to ask that? And they would just talk. And it was It was impressive.
I've heard many people say, news podcasts, this kind of thing, that he's not on until he's on, but he'll engage. You have something to say, he'll absolutely engage with you. Here I'm reading, I'll never forget Gilbert on Silent Trailer setting his Zoom background backstage. Yes, it was an orgy, and he found a way. For him, like loving to, steal things from different people's places and hotels. He cost us money. His orgy Zoom background, we can't get ad revenue now. Thanks, Gilbert. He got us at the end. All right, saddest moment. This is from episode 3555. No heart, in parentheses, your body is mine, with Betsy and Jack Helmuth and Caitlin Paluffo. This is the day that Roe versus Wade was overturned. And Betsy is telling a story or stories about, here's some things you idiots aren't thinking about.
The hard one was the second one, because he was 20 weeks. He was kicking in my stomach. My whole family knew him. He had a name. The kids would come over and feel him kicking in my stomach. He was healthy as could be, every scan. So exciting. And then I go in for, what was it, honey? 20 week?
Yeah, the 20 week scan, sort of the final, like, all right, this is the last time we got a scan, make sure there are no abnormalities, no sort of any birth defects, sort of that last one. Just sort of like, all right, the very last one, he passed everything else, looking good. And that's the one where we found out.
We found out that he had a disease that's super rare and really difficult. He basically had half a heart. And he was fine, like 100% healthy, because he was using my heart. So everything was great. He's such a healthy boy. He's tracking on all the things. And, if you've had kids before, you're kind of stretched out, so you get bigger a lot faster. So I was really big and really excited, and everything was like green light. And then you get this news that this baby who, is like all the other babies you had, right, is reaching those milestones, is got something that you can't see, that they can't, he's not suffering, but he would need 3 heart transplants before the age of 10. He would need to live in the hospital for 3 years in a bubble, so he would have no connection to germs and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's, a few little details just to add in. So basically the sort of half a heart type of thing also meant that the oxygenated blood in his body was sort of just going around in circles, instead of like going up to his brain to oxygenate his brain and to let that fully develop. Aww.
It's just hard because you kind of try not to think about it. But yeah, so he probably would have had ADHD, which is okay. We can totally deal with that.
No.
They did. There are good cases and worse cases, but the definite.
He would have had more than ADHD. He would have had. They were saying he would have had really severe, underdeveloped brain, which would have led to all sorts of issues. So that was incredibly difficult. Besides the fact that he would have basically been born, gone straight into open heart surgery. Would have had another open heart surgery 6 months later if he had survived that one, if he had survived the birth, if he had survived the first open heart surgery and then the second open heart surgery about 6 months later, and then there would have been like another one down the line with a wonky, brain, coming out like Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's like that level of sort of deformity, where it's just sort of like that was the choice, but he was alive.
Well, and there are people who've had this issue who are still alive today, but they've only had these advancements for a few years. So they're like 20. So we don't know. They definitely would have like a heart transplant every 10 years for a while, but we don't know what life looks like. But they can't like kiss a boy on a date or a girl or, anyone on a date for fear of germs. They can't work at a job for fear of germs. So they have to work remotely, And it's just hard because I'm sitting there in the chair. This was the hard part. Like all that's the logistical part. The doctor tells you have to get an abortion. Okay. They tell you the realities. You check it on your own. I listen to podcasts. That's my go-to self-soothing resource. On these topics, whatever. But then we had to try and get an abortion. And that's where it gets dirty, dude. That's where we had to, as people who were told, you need an abortion by top level surgeons at Columbia Hospital, nobody would do it for us. We have money, we have health insurance, and nobody would give us an abortion in the right amount of time before it became too late. This was right before Christmas. I had my procedure on December 22nd, but everybody was all booked up, or they didn't do this type of procedure this late in the game. We had to pull out all the stops, and I wound up in this dirty, gross, White Plains clinic. I walk in and like, it is nasty. And at this point, I've been to tons of doctors, right? It is nasty. It is not, I don't feel safe. There are obviously people there on drugs and with a diverse range of problems. And, you know, I'm glad they have somewhere to go, and I'm glad I had somewhere to go. But I go into the office with this doctor who's very late, like, you know, running behind, that's fine. He had like, I don't know if we want to get into it, but I didn't feel safe. He had lesions on his face. He was like, so when are we going to get you in? You know, we don't take insurance. You're going to have to pay out of pocket. Like, it was shady. And I was being told by my physician that I had to get this done.
Yeah, she had 3 abortions, wanted to have all 3 of those kids. So when you start tweeting out some dumb shit about yay, Roe versus Wade overturned, don't be so fucking simple. Have babies, go to your mom's funeral, don't catfish your dad. Some things are complex, people. Okay. Pippa Mags is saying this story is being told so well, now I'm crying. Be right back. Gotta go call BetterHelp. Yeah, that was very brave, and we appreciated her story very much. Third, for saddest moment, your third and final clip in this category.
Who would want to be the third? What could I? If it's me, I take my name out of the hat. What is
Actually,
it?
this is you.
Ah!
This is from episode 3611. My motherfucker. Keith's final call to mom.
Keith, I'm so sorry that.
And we do. We call and try to figure things out, but at the same time, I don't want the place to know that my dad's such a weird fucking creep and liar. Do you know what I mean? But they do know, because they had to kick him out once and pretended it was about COVID because he was talking to other patients.
Keith, does no part of you think your mom's about to die?
Yeah, the part where, I got a letter and I thought she was dead. Yeah, no, I know she's going to die. I don't know how soon. Based on these letters, it doesn't worry me more.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
If she were to die in the next 2 weeks, is there something that you would do different than what you're already doing?
No.
Okay. Do you need to do something?
Do I need to do go there or something?
I know that you going there really, I get why you're not going there. She can't see you. She's scared of you. You're confusing her. It's making it worse. So I understand that sometimes seeing a patient is fucking worse, and it's for you and it's not helping anyone. Did you want to call her? Do you want to make sure they have a picture of her? Like, something.
Make sure they have a picture.
I haven't had a parent die, but if somebody's parent died, is there something that Keith should do, knowing that this might happen?
Yeah, give him at least that final phone call. So you're me, and you're calling me, the mom.
Oh no, I don't want to do this, but okay. Hi, Mom.
Hi, the hospital. Let me hand it to the mom.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Mom. You doing okay? Mom, I just wanted to hear you breathe. I don't know if you can hear me from somewhere inside of you, but I'm here. And you were the greatest mom. And if you can hear me anywhere in you, I love you and goodbye. Okay, that's it. That's it. I already hung up.
The nurses don't eavesdrop. Okay, I got to know when you hang up.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, visiting her, like I said, that was the viewing to me. And, that was the beginning of all the processing for sure.
Does it sound or feel different rehearing it after your mom passed?
No, should I have done something different? No.
Okay.
No. But, I see Pippa brought up BetterHelp. And that leads to this. This is from last week on Keith and the Girl. Rod got another ad.
Yeah, and I mean, when you have anxiety like this, it's a perfect time to check out our sponsor, Worse Help.
Worse
Go
Help.
to Worse.
Oh my God.
Go to worsehelp.com and sign up. If you're having mental health issues, but you don't have the time and the money to pay for better help, get Worse Help. It costs less, takes less time, and it's less helpful. So go to Worse Help. And it takes less time. Use code last week. You pay twice as much as you would at BetterHelp. And when you pay that much, the investment makes you want to help yourself because you're like, look how much money I'm paying. Now you're motivated. If you're getting better help for less money, maybe I'll go to a session. Maybe I won't. Our therapists aren't even there most of the time. You can leave a message. Sometimes they'll get around to you. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll fulfill the hour. Sometimes they'll just hang out with you for a couple minutes and they got to go run some errands. Most of them have second jobs, so they may be working somewhere else.
It's just like your parents. You could relive your childhood with Worse Help. I like
Get the neglect that you need from worsehelp.com. Code last week. Tell them Ron and Karen sent you.
I don't see how he's making out on any of these commercials. I haven't seen a penny, but good for him nonetheless. All right, here we go. Category number 3. Best rant. Best rant. We have a couple here because, we get passionate. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories, 6 clips in this category.
It should be followed by biggest ranter, whoever wins the most.
Hey, easy.
Buckle up.
This is fun. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
All right.
One would say it's the best.
Thank you. That, by the way, that was me trying to get Chemda to vamp for a little bit, and she said, yeah. All right, here we go.
But then she kept going, and then you revealed behind us. I'm sorry. You're so subtle.
From episode 3499, does Keith have ADD with Jeff Meacham, Emily Panic, and Shelton Lindsay? This is me while Chemda was... I just did I think she was away. Oh, she was in Spain, I believe. Yeah, she was in Spain, and I did the bumpers to this part from the marathon. This is when I happened to see Ginny's 2-star review featuring Meatloaf. Hello, all genders. Keith here. Got some bummer news. Chemda's still alive. I assume it's not that, though I haven't heard from her yet in regards to her trip to Spain, but I assume. Anyway, more importantly, here's the news. On iTunes, of course, you can leave us reviews, and we've read many beautiful ones from you. But it was just brought to my attention that somebody left a 2-star review with the topic Meatloaf. I am not in your demographics. Okay, first of all, then that's on you, right? Love your show. Love your show. But your takedown on Meatloaf really aggravated me. I could say I was uncomfortable, but at my age, that is not descriptive. I am sorry you guys didn't appreciate his music. I sang it. What do you mean I don't appreciate his music? I said I love the first 2 Bat Out of Hell albums. The second one was more my generation. I said Life is a Lemon is one of the greatest songs ever made. Maybe you didn't like Meatloaf yourself, like you think, because apparently you're fucking deaf. Life is a lemon and I want my money back. What about religion? It's effective. It lost its warranty. What about family? They're defective. They can suck my dick for me. What about... I love all that shit. It was cold and lonely in the deep dark night. I can see paradise by the day. Ain't no doubt about it. We were doubly blessed. We were barely 17. How the car comes around. I know it all. How dare you? I'm sorry you didn't get it. I'm sorry you guys didn't appreciate his music at the time he was popular. What a difference he made. Not really, right? That style doesn't keep going. Anyway. Dashboard light, my generation, was a real thing. It was a real thing to fuck in a car? I so remember singing that while my husband sang the opposite when we drove hours in the car. I didn't just shit on your love. Meatloaf was operatic in his music. His stand regarding vaccinations, was he vaccinated? ? I know, if only we had Google. I know he was vocal regarding this. My daughter has the same response. Although she is vaccinated, it is no one's business. What? It's kind of like no one tells me what to do. Great, you're an adult though, right? That's the difference. When your kids do it, it's kind of ridiculous, right? So, in case you are wondering, I am vaccinated and I am a nurse with... Of course you're a fucking nurse. I'm going to do a little stage play here. Speaking of Meatloaf. This one is between me and a nurse. Hi, how's it going? I'm so tired, and I should be home a long time ago. So am I gonna stick a needle in your arm now? Because I'm so fucking tired. I guess what I'm trying to say, if you get to the end, I love Meatloaf's music, and I thought you guys just ripped him unfairly. So sorry about that, Ginny Skipper. Ginny? Oh, are you a woman, Ginny? Well, I take it all back then. If you're a woman, you know. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're a fucking moron. I would now like to talk to your kids, Ginny, if I could. Just for 1 second, put the kids on. Hey, guys. Run! Run! Unless you're his sister Pot Pie or something like that, then I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, and one more thing. Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, he didn't write it. Just know that. Just know that. By the way, that song ends with your husband going, now I'm praying for the end of time so I can end my time with you. Ginny. Bye-bye. Of course, you can leave your stars anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Oh, my goodness.
Incredible review of the review.
And it's reviewing an original review of Meatloaf. And the original review of Meatloaf was actually positive. Now, in reviewing the review of Meatloaf, everything went off the rails and everyone's a moron.
Everybody was revealed. Isn't it funny that everybody gets revealed at some point to everyone else?
Objects in the rear view mirror may appear closer than they are.
Good riddance, Ginny.
Amen.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Amen. I never got a follow up. Maybe she's still chasing her kids that ran out of the car. I do like to think the kids listen sometimes when I do that. I'm like, okay, if you know this person who wrote this letter, and I hope the whole family's listening, and the mom has to run and unplug the whatever's playing.
There's like a van of 6 kids, and they hear it on the podcast for some reason, and at that moment they look around, and maybe just one of them just jumps out of the van and starts running.
You're right. Fuck you, Mom. All right, from episode 3500. This is from the 2022 24-hour marathon. New marathon coming up, of course, February the 4th and 5th of this year. That's 2023's marathon. Make sure you're part of it. It's on our YouTube channel. Hit the bell. Don't be surprised if 3 p.m. Eastern time confuses you. I hit the bell on things, so I know. Not exaggerating. This is from the 2022 marathon. The Last Duel with Gilbert Gottfried. You can hear him on there. J.P. McDade, Casey Balsham, Rod and Karen Morrow, J.C. Best, Josh Accardo, and Colin O'Brien. This is the Don't Bother Travel Show. This section is featuring Rod and Karen Morrow, J.C. Best, and Josh Accardo. And you know what's even worse? Visiting them. Like now we're supposed to visit fucking castles? You ever see a fucking castle? Holy shit. Nothing's in it.
No central air.
So who gives a shit? Here's another room. It's different because it's smaller than the big room with nothing. Who gives a fuck?
Keith is going to have a travel channel on YouTube, and it's going to be called Don't Bother.
Yeah.
And then he goes
to the pyramids. Why? I go to the. It's a triangle.
Yeah.
It's a triangle. Who cares?
Yeah.
He's gonna be like another trap door.
Yeah.
You call this a sea? It's only 2 feet deep.
The Tower of Pisa. It's gonna fall.
Here's how we would punish thieves.
It's not built well.
Yeah. Here's how we would punish people. Oh, like the other place? Fascinating. We put a pear-shaped thing up a guy's asshole and then expanded. Oh, you invented that? I saw that medieval times. Who gives a fuck?
I was telling Xerxes that I think he might like, us visiting Israel. And he's like, he starts in, of course. And then I'm like, what? shawarma, and he goes, and what happens day 2? You had your shawarma.
Oh shit.
Okay, I love it. Can we go home
so
now?
miserable.
I had shawarma.
Speaking of gaslighting,
That's the thing. If the show is an hour long, Keith can visit 20 places. It's just right. It's like, let me guess, brown, the background, brown.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here. Fuck this place.
I'll look down. I'll fly over Greece and go white. Keep going. Keep going.
Nothing to see here.
We get
Nothing.
it. We get it.
There's no color here. Let's keep it pushing.
Olives. Okay. Keep going.
Nice. That makes me feel good. I had friends back in the day who were bragging about Mykonos. Oh, Mykonos is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I never got a chance to. It's really expensive to go to Mykonos. It's like, and I'm like, what's there? Everyone says it's
Don't
so
bother.
beautiful.
Don't bother.
You're
Keith
fine.
Malley.
You're fine. What's there? I'll Google it. What's there?
I'll hop in Meta. Go live next to Snoop Dogg. Then I'll check it out.
And my brother, that's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Saved a lot of money and time.
Google Maps will take you straight there.
Okay. 10 best things to do in Mykonos. Oh, look, a beach. You're kidding me. You're fucking kidding me.
Beach.
The number one thing to travel all that way is to go to a beach. You're
Right.
shitting me.
Right.
LA, boring. Hawaii,
Right.
snooze fest. But you're telling me they got a beach in Greece. Oh, that's exciting. That's a
Thank you,
hoot.
Keith. Thank you. Appreciate this. Thank you.
Number 2, check out whitewashed taverns, homes, and windmills in the island's capital. Guess what I'm looking at? Another fucking beach. You could have the beach, or you could have the beach that's like a fisherman's beach. So now these are all the things. Okay, that's good. Oh, number 3, you went to a whole other country. Living in New York, you know Greek people, all my landlords, so you're curious. What's the number 3 thing to do? Windmills. Fuck off.
Windmills.
Windmills.
We're going to go see windmills today. It's
Are
some
you
of the
gonna
oldest
ride 'em?
structures on Mykonos. Here's 4 in a row. Oh, fascinating. You know how your blades have 3 usually? These windmills have 7 blades. Oh, fascinating shit. Oh, a church you can visit. Guess what? It's all white. It looks like everything else. Okay, but there's a bell on it. There's a bell on it.
Churches here.
Oh, maybe I can ring the bell. Probably not. That would confuse everybody.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Number 5 is another beach. Number 6, Little Venice. Picture of a beach. A lighthouse. Oh, fuck off! You're telling me there's a white building that has a lighthouse on it.
Variety.
Holy shit.
Variety.
This is insane.
She's gonna win best rent for KATGuh.
Oh my
Glad to be a
God.
part of this.
And number 10 is feta cheese. Okay, fantastic.
Okay, well, okay.
Cheese come from?
In all fairness, that's a good one.
Oh, how would you know? Did you have it?
Greek's got the best feta cheese.
Fresh feta cheese I've never had. I'd try that.
Never had it straight from the cat.
Now I gotta go to Mykonos, writing it down.
That's the thing that caught me was the cheese.
I was almost out with the fucking cheese, man.
Everything's on Google. Everything's on our phone. Save a couple bucks, everybody. You're not missing a goddamn thing.
I really think that a show called Why Bother? It's the Travel Channel. Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing the type of man whose value system of something can be such a high standard while also being such a low standard. The bar is so high yet so low.
The duality. Best rant continues with Chemda. This is from Q&A in your VIP package, episode 79, No Slaps in America. Open the airplane door.
Ella McFarlane, the person that we knew from Israel, she wrote in and she had like a little funny story to tell. She says, I just landed in Israel on El Al. Is that the airlines?
Yeah.
They came over the announcements and made a little announcement. They said, please remain seated. Don't use your phones until the door is open and we're finished. To those of you still seated, Merry Christmas. To those of you who are standing, talking on your phones and heading for the exits, welcome back to Israel. Happy Hanukkah.
That's funny. Assuming the pilot was Jewish, that's funny.
The worst part is they're not wrong.
Right.
That was the next discussion that went into, Keith. Is just like, look, when you're in certain places, certain people just like immediately jump up and they're asking like, why isn't the emergency door open in the back? Get us. This constitutes an emergency. Open it up. Let's get the fuck out of here. Where everybody else is sort of.
Did you land the plane? Because I'm not moving. The doors are not open. You want me to help you? I think you know how to do it, but it doesn't look like you do. So I'm having problems with this. Okay, people are waiting for me. It's 13-hour flight. I don't know if you know this. Okay, I'm already standing. So if a door was open, I can move. Okay, look behind me. They're waiting for me, and I'm waiting for you.
It's so
How can I
hard
help you?
It's so hard to argue with logic when you're an employee and people are saying things that, like, I mean, they make sense, but you're just like, look, we have rules, and we're just not gonna. And I'm sorry, we can't.
Oh, you're always following the rules. Oh,
Right.
I have rules for opening the door. I can't open the door. They told me not to. Listen, okay, I was in the army.
You guys are
Everyone else
chosen.
here was also in the army. Okay, we know how to walk through doors. Okay, we're not going to crash the plane because we're walking through the door. Okay, I see. I look out the window. I see. Do you think I don't have eyes? Look at me. I have eyes. Say I have eyes. Do I have eyes?
So scary.
I'm talking to open the door. Less scary.
Tell her you have eyes, please.
Do I have eyes?
Yes, I do have
So
eyes.
you have eyes too to see. Here's the door. I show you with your eyes. You can see. Okay? Now we all see. Let's see how we can open the door.
Oh no, I'm very much like cringing, and not because of the accent, but because of in those situations, once again, customer service. It's like I can't just be like, "Hey man, shut the fuck up about this door." No, you just have to be gracious.
Now
about
you're talking my language.
time.
Please stop telling me you love me so much. Just open the door. I have to go. I know it's so much love in the room, but
I am a married woman.
please,
gosh.
we all have to go at some time. Oh, so sweet. Open the door.
Keith complained that, like, you know, when certain types of people, let's say on the flight, were finished with their tray or something like that, and it's just like, I'm done with this, take it now. And the guy's just like, oh, we're coming around to get those in a little bit, and they're just like, they stand up and they get out of the seat and
They
hand
all
it to them.
stood up trying to hand their tray to people in the back. It's not how the fucking garbage conveyor belt works for them. And just like, and eventually they had to, because everybody wasn't just going to sit down with their tray. So they're like going around people trying to take their tray and garbage.
I don't understand. The garbage is over here. I
Right.
stood up.
Yeah.
So I'm doing your job.
Right.
And
You're
now
not,
I'm
though.
here-
You're just handing me your tray
What is your job?
to take trays, I guess.
So I'm doing my job and you're doing your job. Good job. Everybody good job. Okay, America, everybody do good job. Very good.
Oh, what a place. What a place. I told you, I didn't eat half the time because you got to yell at people for your food and jump over the counter. I'm like, then I don't get a crepe today. Oh, well. Chemda had an ex that used to find it sexy, that accent. That's when you should have known it was a psychopath, Chemda.
Okay.
That's too much to enjoy it, to find that hot. That's too much. All right. Best rant up next from episode 3570. We're not at 5,000 just yet. That's in 2 weeks, I think. 3,570. The show, It Doesn't Matter. This is Keith's Dr. Cons-PEE-racy. This was about, let's see, this was Anne Heche. Anne Heche passed away, and they said they weren't able to do tests on her yet to tell us if she was indeed on alcohol and drugs.
Right, your urine. Yeah, you have to do a lot of tests before you go into.
You do urine anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do urine for fun. They gargle in the back. It's a handshake to these fucking wackos. Doctors, you call them, but yeah, no, they toss her. They're juggling it. These nurses, they love urine. They love urine play.
I imagine you are connected to a catheter pretty quickly.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're
you
probably
pee, but
not
anytime-
peeing on your own. Yeah.
They check your pee for. I remember that as a kid, I almost drowned. They check with the pee first thing. I'm like, what's the pee gonna tell you? How much water got in my lungs?
If there's any chlorine.
They didn't need my pee, these sickos. Ugh, Illuminati's just swimming in all our pisses.
All right.
I'm telling you, just keep it. I mean, who cares? Let them have it. I don't need it, but just don't act like I want them to know that we know.
You know what? I want to fight you on this, but it is so funny how much when you go to the doctor or whatever hospital, they are so used to collecting urine that they won't even say anything to you. I don't know if this happens everywhere, but I have had multiple times where someone just gives me a jar and I'm like, do I just guess that I pee in this? I could be wrong. Can you just say, please go pee in? And where, and then they don't tell you where to put it after. So I have peed in it and brought it back to the person who gave it to me. What else do you do? And they're like, no, in the bathroom, there's a place you open that trap door and then you put that in and then somebody picks it up on the other end. I'm like, well, words could have helped. I'm holding my own pee.
Holding my own pee here. I'm here for bad knees. What the fuck could be? The centrifugal force it and then throw it back on me? On my knee? What do you need? You don't need it. What do you want to do when you grow? Study pee? What? Be a doctor? Mm.
At Surf Reality, back at that open mic where we met like 20 years ago or whatever the fuck time is, I saw twice, two different people, different weeks at an open mic run out of material and decide to drink their own pee. You would think that it's like, you know what? I don't know what to do. I'm going to do the thing that nobody does. And it's like, this was done 2 weeks ago. Right material. Drinking pee.
I just Googled, why do doctors love pee so much? They do. They love it. Things they pretend to find out about: urinary tract infection, diabetes. Sickos. Disgusting. I remember, now that I think back at Surf Reality, maybe they were doctor wannabes. I'm not sure. But you know what? When Chemda brought up how they hand you the urine bottle and don't say anything, I hope it's so that you don't take them to court or anything like that. It's like, I just handed the bottle. They did what? And then if you go, what's this for? Oh, sorry. I meant to hand you a clipboard, You know what I mean, Chemda?
I don't go to the doctor, but every time that I do go to the doctor, they do ask me for pee.
Yeah. I have an ear infection. What do I gotta get pee for? By the way, I used to tell that ear infection fuction joke so much. I just said ear infection. That was an accident. What? I can't hear you. Oh well. No, they love it. They love this fucking pee. Oh, you don't. And then they say you give them the pee. They go, you don't hand it to me. You put it over here. Oh, all right, because you hate pee so much. I hate pee. Leave it in the bathroom. I guess a dog will come by and pick it up. I personally, I gotta beg you to take my piss now. Oh fuck. All right. Continuing best rant. This is from last week on Keith and the Girl, number 187. This is with Rod and Karen Morrow, but mostly Karen. Karen wanted to rant about these superhero movies. Well, by the way, speaking of these superhero movies, we talked about the movie Morbius. And you guys are superhero fans.
I did not see it.
And you don't have to?
No. Because, okay. This is how I feel about this, Keith.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people feel various different ways, but because I'm like a nerd and I listen to like nerd podcasts.
Ooh, qualifying herself. All right, this should be good.
Marvel was about to go out of business, so they sold their properties. So this is how you get all these different people like Fox and all these people with their properties. So then Marvel was like, well, we're going to take the properties we have, which is basically our C and our D level people, and they made billions of dollars off of them. So then they bought Fox. So everything that Fox has is now into Disney, which is a good thing. But some of the stuff that Sony has.
Well, that's why, for example, Simpsons is on Disney Plus.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because they bought them. And so the thing is, because it's a Marvel property, when you go see stuff, it'll be like Marvel
in association with,
which is different because a lot of people feel less in association with. And when you go to a Marvel movie, you know what you see? Something flipping with all the characters. You see Doctor Strange, Black, that like they had to do something because a lot of people got confused. People that don't keep up with shit like that and don't care, they would get confused. They were like, well, it's all Marvel. And I'm like, no, the fuck it ain't, because I don't count Morbius. Like, that's some bullshit that they was like, we're going to make some money because we know Marvel's making all the money off of Spider-Man, all this other bullshit. So we're going to come in here and try to mooch off of it. And then people go see it and be pissed and be like, well, Marvel made this. No, they didn't, because they did not go through Kevin Feige, who is the man. If it don't go through his hands and he don't approve it, fuck that movie. I don't give a fuck about it. Like, it is not Marvel's property.
Do you think Marvel tries to sabotage the in association with Marvel movies? Like, do they say, hey, how can we make Morbius better? And they're not picking up the phone?
You know what, Keith? No. You know what they do? They go to people and they talk to the people that make Spider-Man. You know what they told them? They was like, don't do shit. They was like, all we want you to do is allow us to do it. Sit your ass down and make up $1 billion. Don't do shit. Don't write shit. Just let us do it. And the thing is, companies get greedy. Instead of them kind of working with Marvel so everybody can make all the money, they was like, we'll do it ourselves. You've done the shit for 25 years, and me and Roger have been to them shitty ass movies y'all put over the years just to try to make a quick buck. The standard is high. Marvel is making a higher standard, so people aren't willing to go see the bullshit that you put out before just to say you're making a movie. And then you were like, well, why are we getting bad reviews? Because you don't know how to fucking write a movie. You don't. But like this, all these comic books out there, and you have directors talking about, I don't read the comic books. Well, bitch, you got your storyline right there. I don't understand this. Like maybe this is just me, and I hate to go on this rant, but I'm tired of people talking about it's all Marvel. No, the fuck it's not. Morbius has not a fucking thing to do with Marvel, because you do not see any. You don't see Spider-Man. You don't see Thor. You don't see. Ain't none of them bitches over there. It is not Marvel.
When they put Michael Keaton, who was in a great Spider-Man movie, as the Vulture, they show on TV that he's going to be in this movie. He's not. He's only in the Stinger. Should this be the electric chair? Because that is a flat out that is worse than Ben Stiller telling me there's an ending to Severance. This is offensive.
You know what this is when you go on DoorDash and you see something that's like breakfast nearby, and then you click on it and then it's like bagels and more. And you're like, oh, bagels and more. Never even heard of them. I guess I'll get that logo. And then it's like a virtual bread delivered to you by Hardee's. And you're like, oh, this is Hardee's. Yeah. This isn't new shit. This is this is whack shit with a different name.
Yes.
That's what Morbius is. And I'm off that narcotic. I don't have to go see the shitty ones that I know are shitty before even Marvel's got it good enough to where if they make something, I know that the worst my experience is going to be is like 7 out of 10 or something. Like we leave 7 out of 10 Marvel movies and go, that shit was whack. It was only 7 out of 10. Yeah. They know they can do better than that. But these other movies, they're like, you want to see a 1 out of 10 movie, kids? And you're like, no one likes this. We never liked it.
Right. We don't like it. And also, not to go on a rant, but people talk about like that Batman. Well, I'm here now. People talk about like the Batman movie. The Batman is DC. And it's one of the things where I want DC to be great. I am one of them people that was like, I want Marvel to be great. I want DC to be great. I just want good movies. That motherfucking movie was 3 goddamn hours of my time that I can't. I'm sorry to go on a rant on behalf
Batman?
of Keith.
I don't feel like you are. You're not that sorry.
No, but you know what? This is the first time that we didn't hear honey or sweetie at the end or something. It's like, this is the only motherfuckers that we've heard. No, so please let it out.
She didn't even
Rod soon.
Yeah, she didn't even say, do you know what I mean? She's like, you motherfuckers know what I mean. Not to go on the rant. I picture like Rod's dad slaps Rod in the face and she goes, well, damn. But these movies, this gets her riled up. All right. We have one last category here under Best Rant. This is from your VIP package. Make sure you subscribe. KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP. We're very proud of it. Test it out. One word, free trial. One word, the code, free trial. Okay. The Diamond Dogs 39. The episode, Space. This is Keith versus Craig. Space.
Fuck you.
Here we go. Well, by the way, speaking of these superhero movies, we talked about the movie Morbius. And you guys are superhero fans. Whoops. I'm all in my head. This got me fucking going. Here we go. Here's Space.
And fuck you.
You son of a gun. You son of a gun.
Turning your
orbit around. Yeah, okay. First of all, Craig, hi. Fuck you. Secondly, just admit that it's not the most amazing fucking thing this James Webb Telescope. Admit that you're more excited by the beach. You're more excited about a good TV show than these fake planets out there that aren't even there. Let's take a trip there. Oh, that's the joke. They won't be there. Who cares? How about a dinosaur? How about footage from a video camera 5 feet away that we can catch a killer? No. But trust me, the curvy ones are even further. Further than what? Further than not there at all. Or more recent. Admit you don't love it as much as you pretend to. Admit you don't love it as much as you pretend to. Admit the beach and the ocean is better. Admit that if you really loved it as much as you pretended to, when you went snorkeling, your head would explode. Because that's touching universes.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to say.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I think the song kind of set me up, but okay. Fair enough.
I'd like to say that I expect this. I like to say I expect this from you. But what really hurts my feelings is Bianca Brady, because I thought that she was.
I love it. She's not a fake intellectual. She's a smart, brilliant person that is honest.
You know what? I was going to say that I thought she was a smart, brilliant person as well, but then she broke my heart. And I think she's being a little dishonest to get favor from you for some reason. And I wonder what type of person would do that as well. So
she typed so fast. She texted me out of the blue. We don't really text each other.
Fine, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm loading it up because I turn my phone off when we record, but it's common. And she was like, hey, this telescope, right? Something like that. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Exactly, yes. And it's fair to say she's saying, oh, really? I'm going to tell you the exact text, Craig. Just trust me, obviously. She was mocking it. Okay? But I'll tell you.
How silly, Bianca. How silly. Why mock it? It's like mocking a computer.
Yeah, computers don't work. You're the kind of guy that would be like, user error. And I'm like, oh, Craig, unplug it and plug it back in. Now it works. Okay, it's not that fucking great, ones and zeros. Put in a 2. I've said it for years.
Put in a 2.
Just how about a 4 to watch over everything? Jesus Christ. Half the computer's a 0. That can't be good. Some people think you shouldn't. I think you should be able to give something 0 stars. People are like, no, you have to start at a base of. Then how is a computer a 0? You're gonna cause. I believe it. It's gonna cause problems, and of course there is. How many times did I have to deal with bullshit today?
I asked a mathematician once. Is 1 + 1 always 2? Right? And he said to me.
Weird question, but what did he say?
Right, and because he was like,
what were you passing back and forth? But okay, go ahead.
No, he was he was a professor for mathematics at Michigan University. He was my friend's father, and I asked him, "Does 1 + 1 always equal 2?" And he said, "No, not necessarily, because 1 + 1, if you have a switch." Right? And the function is 0 and 1.
What if it's upside down? A lot of people think counterclockwise is clockwise based on when you look at it.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
So what I'm saying is that
I know that if I was in a game show and they went, is 1 + 1 always 2? I'd be like, no, of course it isn't. Or you wouldn't ask. For $1 billion, I'll put in all my money. 1 + 1 isn't always 2. And then I start running around the fucking room. It's not my baby, Maury. It's not my baby. And they're like, you are correct. You have $1 billion. Do you know why? I'm like, does that take a risk? No, it's just fun for the audience. Oh, yeah, I have no fucking idea why. Thank you. Yeah. Goodbye.
You're a guy that
Thank you.
Is so afraid of being tricked.
Yes, but it's because the universe tricks. Yeah. But not afraid. I don't think afraid. And you're not the first person to say that, of course. I'm not afraid. It's just I'm never surprised. Now, what could I be missing in my life because of that attitude? Not much. Not much. So true. So true. Pippa Mags is rating in. Craig has the most interesting friends. She says, admit nothing, Craig. That space stuff was cool enough for Coke to make a limited edition space flavor. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah. Let me tell you something about Coke. They also have Dreamland flavor, and they have garlic, and I'm not exaggerating. But okay, Coke agrees that it's brilliant. I believe this show was in January. You were sure, or at least you were sure that we're going to get results 4 months from then. So let's say May. It is now the brand new year. It did. New York Times couldn't find them, but here it is.
Craig Klein, out of here.
Craig Klein will now tell us what we learned from space, and I will be humbled. Go ahead, Craig.
No, you can't put that on me. All I know is that we're finding out, and we're being able. We just found a planet in the Goldilocks zone.
Goldilocks.
Which is the orbit of a planet around a star that can make it habitable. Basically, it just means that it's a habitable planet that's about the same size and mass of Earth. So this is
fascinating.
These are fast. Yeah. What if we find life?
What if
we're seeing?
Oh, you could just say, what if? What if we meet God? You're right. That'd be pretty cool.
We're seeing the beginning of the universe, and you and Bianca Brady, worse or so, that can't just admit that in and of itself is an interesting and exciting idea to even fathom. Just
those
a
pictures,
thought to think.
Those pictures are cool for a second. So was my Trapper Keeper. Okay, so was the carpeting in the mall theater.
Yeah, but see, I think that we're talking about something very different. You're talking about the superficiality of the photograph and the way that it looks aesthetically.
Oh, the words are more interesting. The words of space are more interesting.
The thought that you're looking like, okay, when you look at an old photo of a family member from the 1800s or something, you're not looking at it because they're an attractive or cool or interesting looking person. You're analyzing it because it's so old, and it's look at that shit.
Hold on one second. I'm having a sip of my coffee Coke. It's a new flavor.
Coffee.
Chris is asking, does space have beaches? That's what Keith wants to know about. All right, so here are your clips. We have Ginny's 2-star review featuring Meatloaf, the Don't Bother Travel Show, Open the Airplane Door, Keith's Doctor Cons-PEE-racy. Listener wrote, I was crying laughing and nearly produced a sample in my pants that a doctor would be delighted to gargle or some shit. Who knows? Carrot on superheroes and Keith versus Craig. Space. You'll vote, of course.
I can't believe I got sucked into this shit again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can, and you should believe it at this point. You should at least give it the respect
to
believe it and know that it's going to happen next time.
I am Craig's black hole. You know what I mean? Sucking out his soul. And here we are, the final category. This is tough. This is tough this year because there's only 4 categories, but many clips.
I don't know how you. I was about to say I don't know how you all are going to vote, but I'm going to vote also. And it always takes a deep breath, and
I take it very seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most shocking moment of the year. Most shocking. But first, Rod Morrow.
Let's move into last week. This episode is sponsored, of course, as all last week's are sponsored. Mm-hmm. This episode is sponsored by Rod, These Shoes. Rod, These Shoes is the most sustainable shoes on the planet. They use nothing but 100% biodegradable materials to make their shoes. Okay. Materials such as banana peels, apple cores, and melon rinds. You won't believe the crunch once they're on your feet.
Oh, no.
Each pair is organically glued together out of leftovers from my own trash. These shoes will have you saying, oh, my God, what the fuck? Act now. And with this code last week, I'll throw in some used paper towels as well to go with your used fruit. Rod, These Shoes will have you calling me and saying, Rod, These Shoes.
I see what his strategy is. Like we had Rothy's shoes that you can throw in a washer, after you use them. And so he's finding companies that do the other. It's like when a superhero movie comes out, then at the same time they put out a movie called Around the Tulips. And it's like, we'll try to get everybody else, Here's they were a regular sponsor for him. Here's another ad for Rod, These Shoes.
We are sponsored this week. Let's get to the sponsor.
Yes.
Okay.
This episode is brought to you by a repeat sponsor. Okay. We don't always get these, but
snap.
They're invested in the show. They're back. Okay. This episode is brought to you by Rod. These shoes.
Oh, yeah.
The only shoes
yeah.
that are 100% made from my leftover garbage.
Right.
Completely safe for the environment. So safe. Rothy shoes are made of water bottles. My shoes can be 2 water bottles. It's up to you. As a bonus,
Right.
I drank all the water out of them first, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
You can
Then
put it
the
over your head.
You can pour it over your head, and then you can put them on your feet.
I hate to say this during a sponsor, but
Yeah.
do they? There's obviously an easy answer. Why aren't they worried about fungus?
Wow, this is a real Christian Finnegan moment during my ad read, Keith.
Well, I figure there's an easy answer. Do you know it?
Send a self-addressed box to my house, and I'll fill it with my trash for just $200. And the beauty of it is, you get to decide which pair of shoes you'll wear that day. Could it be the Doritos bag, the Amazon box? You decide. So just mail me that box and $200 and get started today. You'll be saying, Rod, these shoes.
Yeah, right. Probably stuff after that too, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congrats.
Yep. Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. He still has to have his second job at HBO's Game Theory, but good for him that he made the calls and got a sponsor. Just the same. All right. Here we are. Most shocking moments that you, the audience, picked of 2022. First up. Yes. Yes, Craig. Unmute yourself and feel free.
Shocking moments.
Shocking moments. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Chemda will now vamp for a second.
Yes, Craig, please unmute yourself and say shocking one more time.
Shocking moments.
Not
stocking moments. Or stalking moments.
You know what? I was
or
listening.
mocking moments. Shocking.
During that clip with me and you in space, whatever I am exaggerating the way I talk, I pronounce honest like on it. Somehow I removed the silent H.
Yeah, your specific dialect.
Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly,
yeah. You. There are a lot of things that I catch listening through the years. Totally unique to you.
Thank you.
Every time I think of beer, actually, I was reading something on Twitter today. A&W Root Beer has a mascot called the Root Bear.
That's just rude.
Right? And then I was like, Keith, this is Keith, the Root Bear.
He didn't want to be embarrassed. A&W was like, no, our mascot's a bear. All right, here we go. Up first for most shocking from episode 3497, Alive with Liz Scheier, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, to be honest. This is deliberately having a stillbirth.
So my mother calls me, and it is her mother's yahrzeit. So for the Gentiles among us, a yahrzeit is the anniversary of someone's death.
Okay.
So her mother has been dead for many, many years, but she still feels sad around that time of year.
You guys don't have all that food and stuff again, do you?
No.
Okay, because I haven't been invited to any. All right.
And so she calls and is, doing the usual narrative about how much she misses her, and I'm being as sympathetic as I can. And she says, but what I'm really concerned about is that she may be lonely down there in her grave. And that was kind of a new one for me. That's not really a thing we believe. Mm-hmm. And so I said something comforting like, just her body, not her soul, not really there. And she said, I know it still worries me though, but I have a solution and we can fix this. And I'm like, I do not like the sound of that we.
Sounds like you're getting shovels. Yeah.
Well, funny you say that. She says, so what I want you to do, Elizabeth, what I want you to do is have a stillborn child that we will bury in the grave with her. Now, at this stage in my life, I am A, not pregnant, B, dating women, so unlikely to become pregnant accidentally, and C, unlikely to try to engineer a stillbirth. I'm not trying, I don't want to make light of this stillbirth, very tragic, obviously.
But you got to time it just right. Like, did she have a diet planned for you?
A regimen of bleach, unclear, I'm not sure. But, and then that's what
just calling.
I thought that's already dead.
To suggest that I should have.
Yes.
You contact the shelter and you explain, That's not my dog, your dog. Yeah.
What in the fuck? Is that where we're beginning?
That's the beginning of most shocking. Yes.
Holy
That's just the
shit.
beginning. Yeah. So keep that one in mind. Up next, most shocking. This shocked me. Last week on
Wait.
Keith and the Girl. Yeah, Craig. It's ridiculous. How do you see
Was
mom
was
during Christmas?
Okay, that was her mother?
Yeah.
And was her mother going through some sort of mental illness crisis or something?
She would mention that, but sure, I guess.
One of the signs that her mother needed to be checked out.
Really? Because I checked the signs: grief and loss and acceptance and adding bodies to mom. And I don't know what stage I'm at right now, but I didn't get to the add bodies to mom's grave yet.
So heavy. That is so heavy.
This one's just as heavy. From last week on Keith and the Girl, number 175 with Rod and Karen Morrow. This is Rod's post-sex role play.
Chemda, let's read Newsy's text message. Remember?
Oh,
he
shit.
said-
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I forgot
right.
my phone.
Okay, give her
I
a
will-
second, everybody. Matter of fact, let's just keep talking about sex, everybody. Here's the thing. I'm in this new thing. I call it post-sex role play.
Okay.
So what you do is you have sex like you normally have sex, right? But then after the sex, that's when you do the role play. Like, I can't believe that you're my teacher, and we just
and they don't know what
kills
happened.
me with this. It's the best. It's honestly the best. Everyone should try it. It doesn't hurt anybody because it's already over, so they don't have to say or do anything weird. So there's no one's feelings that have to feel weird. And then when you're done, you're just like, oh my God, when they find out that we're coworkers and we weren't supposed to be staying this night in the hotel. And they were like, wow, what are you talking about?
I always look at him like, what? He was like, don't tell mom and dad that, we're having sex. I was like, what?
Yeah.
We're not related. He was
I'm
like, yes,
exactly.
we are.
I'm like, exactly. We're not.
Very
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
I also
And he
can't
winks
believe
at me.
Yeah, I can't believe you're a literal puppy dog. All right, goodbye.
Yeah. So you're welcome, everybody. Use
All
that
right.
at home. Spice it up.
Chemda,
Your spouse looking at you crazy.
Please never leave again, Jesus. I'm gonna vomit over here.
I cannot wait to be filled in a minute. Okay.
Oh my goodness, it's shocking.
Oh, it's so sweet, and it's real because Karen is laughing her head off and coming and like reviewing ones that.
Oh, she said one was incest. Yeah.
You never know the real freaks. You never know the real freaks.
They always say, "Who cares what happens in people's personal bedrooms?" I think we should. I think we should care a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You're right.
All right. Also from last week on Keith and the Girl, number 190 with Rod and Karen Morrow. This is about when they were in New York City and me, you, Chemda, Xerxes met Rod and Karen. This is called Karen Hugs a Soft Keith.
Oh, and I got to hug Keith. And Keith, you are very soft.
Thank
Like,
you.
I like hugging people.
Thank you.
Mhm.
It's different
And I
when
don't mean
men
that in a
say
bad
that,
way.
but
Oh,
of course
God.
you don't. Thank you,
Of
Karen.
course.
Thank you.
It's a blessing.
It's God's gift.
What episodes are we covering?
That derails the show. Oh, word. I was just saying.
It's just let's look up synonyms for soft, but I'm a good hugger, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I meant.
Well,
Yes.
honestly, I felt that his face was glowing. You look so moisturized.
Thank
like,
you.
I don't know
Thank
what
you.
you've been doing to your face.
She's only gonna
but-
make me do more now. Thank you.
Zoom doesn't quite
It doesn't do you
capture
justice.
the moisture that this man's face was full of.
Thank you.
He was giving them looks out there at the park.
Lurks.
Look, yes. So you know what's gonna happen if people meet you in real life. Just know Keith gonna give you them looks. Mm-hmm.
And that tastes soft.
Yes.
Every man's number one compliment.
I mean, platonic is
come
just a
out
hug,
right,
so
y'all.
why
I'm
not?
so
It was
sorry.
soft. That's all right.
Look, I blame Kyle. She's giving them mixed signals. Face moisturizer and the gym. Like pick a lane.
Alright, thank you.
Yes. Feels like your skin and stuff is just so soft. Okay, I'm sorry.
There
Thank
we
you,
go.
Kyle.
Soft skin. Like, you don't want it to sound too creepy, but how about soft skin?
Yeah. Soft.
Just your beanbag belly and your arms made out of marshmallow jelly was so pleasing, like a warm vagina.
That is not what
Karen's like, it's interesting that he allows himself to wear sleeveless shirts.
Yeah.
Man, he's tough.
Now I see why.
Anyway, I got a hug from the Michelin Man. All right, moving on.
3 Michelin stars for you.
Yeah.
KATG. I am so sorry, Keith. You know what? You've been
Make
around
it
me
worse.
too
Go
long,
ahead.
Keith, because you can speak my language, because you knew exactly
Yes,
what I
of
meant.
course.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes. I had to, being a comedian is like searching for the absurd, so I had to really reach hard to find a level most civilians can't.
Okay, let me quit digging this hole.
Shocking indeed. Shocking indeed. Oh,
I think she's going to be shocked that this is on here because she's like, what? I said nice things.
Yeah.
She's just as surprised as you. When you say nice things, it gets misunderstood. She's saying nice things, being misunderstood. You guys have a lot in common.
Well, in all sincerity, Liz Scheier and her being told to deliberately have a stillbirth, she does have some real competition. This is from last week on Keith and the Girl number 209 with Bianca Brady. The Malleys suck off dad's thumb.
Okay.
The garlic and honey situation, truly deranged, disturbing, and abomination on so many levels. Not only because you have to suck off your dad's thumb, your words.
Yep.
But garlic and honey don't really go together.
Well, that my dad didn't put them together.
Okay.
I guess you can Google and something about dipping honey, some religion. The honey went on the forehead. The garlic went minced on his thumb into your mouth. My brother just the other day said, "You're exaggerating. We didn't suck on the thumb." I'm like, "Okay, what do we do?" And I'm sure that's some years ago I would have said.
Right.
Like, well, you take your teeth, you scrape it with your teeth. I'm like, I'm right. Okay. So don't act like I'm exaggerating. You're taking your teeth, you're using your bottom lip too. So what you're doing is that hopefully you have horse teeth and you can and your teeth can come out and then get it off just right. And that's something you look forward to. Because tradition that we never knew about.
Now, let me ask you, I know we're all really fixated on the idea of sucking off your dad's thumb.
Yes.
Now, my question is, with the honey on the forehead, probably in the shape of a cross.
Yes, it is.
How long are you expected to leave that there? Is it like an all-day thing where
Thank you,
dirt
Bianca.
and dust are getting stuck?
We
Or
were
can
so focused on the sucking off the thumb.
And not the sticky pillow. Well, why would you turn your head to the side on that day? No, you can. As I remember it, as we got older, it was understood that he got his kicks, and then we immediately could go to the bathroom and wash.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Oh my God. Two people in the bathroom?
But it didn't go by age. You ran as fast as you could. So first one there gets to do their business and wipe it off and be like, that's the dumbest fucking shit. We threw in an extra teeth brushing. I mean, it did touch the teeth, The lips are fine. You don't have to wipe those off.
Do you have to use the same sink full of water for brushing your teeth?
Yeah. First one, you want to be the first one.
Okay, and what time of day did this happen?
That was an evening activity.
Okay.
Yes. That was like before dinner, I believe.
So
or maybe
it'd be
after.
like, okay, everyone, almost dinner time. What's the vibe? Is it very ceremonial, or is it like, come on, everybody get down
Come
here. We got to
on.
do the,
Let's go. Come on.
line up. We got to
Mom,
do
do we
the-
have to? And Mom's like, oh, I'm going to pretend I'm a restaurant manager and I'll be in my room ordering extra potatoes. See you, weirdos. So then he does it one at a time. We're all making faces. Like if it's a ceremony, we're really ruining the ceremony for him. And but he does the honey, he does the garlic, and then we'll leave. We don't even have to stand there for the other ones. Like
What's the prayer? What's the prayer?
May you be as something like, may your year be as, and it's very dramatic. Like the whole, I couldn't tell you honestly with the thumb included. I can't tell you what the ickiest part is, but even the thumb on the forehead is like slow and gross, and just and may your life this year. Well, how about a couple years? Can we do 5 at a time? This year only, you'll need to see me again. Be as sweet as honey, and may you be as strong as the. So I guess so. Maybe his thumb then goes into the garlic, but it's really all garlic still. and may you be as strong as garlic. And then you can leave.
Who preps the garlic?
Him, of course.
He does.
Yeah.
So he cuts it up. He cleans up after himself.
No, he just takes a mincer, minces it, then uses that watery shit.
Minced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow. And he's got some tools out.
Yeah, because
a
the clove of garlic, you can.
Sick surgeon. He's got like a tray with a garlic mincer and one of those honeycomb things.
Yeah.
No, like I meant like he pressed it. He didn't just mince it by hand, which means it's juicy.
It's
garlic.
juicy. Yeah, but somehow I'm not sucking. Okay. Sorry, that's the way I remembered it. Maybe my brother's Ken Miller. In the Malleys, we had to. You never.
Maybe Kevin didn't.
Right. I go, Ken, Google anybody that ever fucking did it. Why are you acting like, why do you have to stick with this? Why? Because I said so many things about him. We have to give him at least something. This is fucking ridiculous. And so he sends me like 2 or 3 links about garlic and honey. I'm like, that's not what he said. You know, he said about thumb sucking. And he's like, you said a link. And I'm like, then what are we talking about? Because you went to seminary. That means you're one of these people that love to argue. And you really think we don't know what we're talking about here? We're talking about garlic on the thumb. Show me one link. Everything. Start the Google search with, hey, I know this is right, huh? Garlic and honey off your dad's thumb.
Stop it.
Or any priests. That's no longer a priest, but once you're a priest, always a priest. Google it so it just sends it back to you, and it still doesn't do that. You find other things on Urban Dictionary. You can't find this anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is wrong. This was wrong. I'm not saying do we have a class action lawsuit. I'm saying, that's fucking weird, right? And then don't say I exaggerate about it. When you were in the fucking house sucking them off too. That's what it is. You're acting like you didn't suck nothing off. You guys all sucked it off. All of you. I know I did, and I know I seen you do it.
That's the thing that is so
frustrating
and cringy about like any sort of like traumatic experience that you go through where you sort of like equivocate and justify, well, it wasn't sucking the thumb. It was just scraping it off the thumb with the teeth. Okay, it's not like we were really having to do a weird ritual in a cult-like way. I mean, maybe
I just won't ask any friends of mine about it, but I don't think so.
Maybe if I put my whole mouth around the thumb, maybe we'd be having a conversation. But just my teeth, the little scrape, that can't be bad, right? I'm fine, right? We're fine. I'm normal.
Who thought you like we were sucking the thumb all day? No, I said teeth scrape. But I don't want it to be just called, sexual inappropriateness. Okay, so I make it clear. I think it goes under wherever sucking off the thumb goes.
Sucking off the thumb, yeah. Sucking off the thumb.
And that's the kind of fun we have at keithandthegirl.com/VIP.
And just like that,
I'm sorry.
I'm back in love with Bianca Brady.
Seriously. What category was that?
Most shocking.
Gross.
Okay. It's most
the grossest thing.
Disturbing.
Most vomitous, the category of 1.
Oh my God.
Who's making the animations? Who did we
we assigned J86. He's quitting his video game
J86. What I'd really like for that clip is to see a POV from Father Malley. All of these like face making kids, and then a thumb comes down and wipes honey on it, like smears the slimy honey on the forehead, and then into the jar of minced garlic. It had to have been a ceremonial minced garlic thing, right? We never got to that. Where did the minced garlic come from? Was it in his pants?
Just garlic, and he had one of those, the old school.
Oh, so he was
smushers.
freshly mincing it onto his thumb.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
fucking tableside service.
Well, it doesn't matter, but he'd put it on a plate and then put his thumb in the plate.
Okay.
Oh, it's in a plate. Okay.
But
sure.
Did he have all of the garlic ready at once, or did everyone get a fresh squeeze? You had to wait for your personal garlic.
Oh no, it's whatever the thumb left behind. Are you saying it's not sanitary?
No. Okay. Keith, please.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a ceremony, right?
Sure.
Father Malley at the front of the church in your basement.
This was just in the kitchen and all. He didn't have his church at the time.
All right. Okay. So
did he wear
in the
anything?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
A sachet? What? Like a
scarf thing? I don't think so.
A scarf.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He just put on earmuffs.
He rang the bells. Ding, ding, ding.
Did he?
No.
We don't know. You
No, it was just mouth rape. That's all.
Okay.
So wait. So he's on the counter and he's got just a regular dinner plate, or is it a ceremonial bowl or something that he's
I think it was a
mincing the
regular
gar-
plate. I think it was a regular.
Okay, just a regular plate. God, your dad
We were humble.
really, even when he has a captive audience, he can't go the whole 9 yards. Not even for himself. Like, he
Right.
just, not even for him fucking self. He's just like, well, man, I'll just do a plate. I don't know. Nobody gives a shit anyways. But I am forcing them to do it. But they don't give a shit. Okay, so he minces all the garlic at once.
Most likely, yes.
Okay, and then there's a plate there that is table side, or he's holding it
On the table.
And so one thumb is honey, one thumb is.
I think it's the same thumb, but he made sure most of the honey was off.
Oh,
because he's wiping it on you.
As he wipes it, but you really just taste the garlic. You don't taste honey in your mouth.
You ever eat pancakes
Wow.
and not a single dollop of honey gets anywhere besides the plate? Even still, around 1:00 p.m., you're still like, what the fuck is all over my hands and all over my phone?
Yeah.
What was this like going to sleep that night?
He must have mushed it on you, because if by the time he put garlic on, you didn't even taste the honey and you're sucking off his thumb, he must have been trying to smear the honey off of his own thumb rather than ceremoniously just dab it on your
Yes. Yeah. It was
forehead.
very slow and dramatic. It's like,
And like a push.
and then horizontal. Or across.
Okay.
Okay, so J86, this POV, Father Malley, and all of this smushing and crossing, it's just so disturbing. And blessed be to Bianca Brady for bringing it out of you.
Vote it out. KeithandTheGirl.com/forums.
It's funny. I never know if there's more to that, but she did good. She was a very good interviewer. I'll tell you that.
Isn't it amazing that your father making his children suck off garlic off of his thumb in the kitchen unceremoniously, let's just get to the bottom of it, unceremoniously, is worse than intentionally stillborning a child for another dead child in a grave?
It is worse because then we had to clean the tools that he used.
Oh, what a
the garlic
world.
press is
What
so
a world.
By the way, these ads I've been playing of Rod, I had a cleaner over the other day, and so I'm playing these over the speakers, and they were laughing their balls off. So congratulations, Rod. Here's one more from Rod.
And we are also sponsored. That's right, y'all. This episode of Last Week on Keith and the Girl is brought to you by Inaudible. Tired? Are you tired of listening to your book? In today's fast-paced world, everything is about speed. Listening to a book may sound efficient, but how can you listen to a book and music at the same time? It's too frustrating. And that's why we are promoting Inaudible. They are bringing back the tactile feel of turning pages, the physical weight of a book, or even just bragging on Zoom by placing your camera with your bookshelf in the background. And that's what Inaudible brings you. You can even use it to brag when you haven't even read the book. It's just sitting there, but people assume that you read it because it's on your shelf or it's in your hands. So you can get started very simply. It doesn't cost you any extra money. Just go to your local bookstore or library and get a book. Then go home and read it. It's that simple. Inaudible is reading for your eyes.
What do they get out of it? The company?
Just the value of reading. You know?
You pay them and then you can read. All right. Thank you, Rod. Also, of course, every year we do this, the best new guests. That'll be on the forums. People love Dave Ross, Beth Lapidus, Nasili Zeal, Jeff Sheen, Liz Scher, Jesse Crossan. There's a total of 25 new guests that we had last year, thanks to Chemda. And we're going to make some of them cry, okay? So here's what we're here to tell you. Keith and the Girl VIP. We're very proud of it. You got a sample of it. I think you're going to dig it. KeithandtheGirl.com/VIP. The video of my dad as Hitler. KeithandtheGirl.com/dad. I just think it's funny. It's right there for free. And the marathon you want to schedule on your calendar for February 4th through the 5th.
Next week.
Holy shit.
Holy.
Next week?
Next week. You know how there's this Saturday coming up? Not that one.
Yes.
Next week.
Yes.
It's coming up.
All right.
It's I have a wall calendar, and that day is on that month.
Right.
On the January month. It's coming up.
You don't have to flip the page to see that day.
know.
February 4th.
Speaking of goodbyes, this is one final ad read from Rod.
Let's get into these week's episodes by starting with our sponsor.
Okay.
Yes.
This episode is brought to you by Goodbye Spoiled. Rod, these shoes is rebranding. Okay. I was having trouble moving the inventory from my trash to your house. So now we're back and better than ever as Goodbye Spoiled. Goodbye Spoiled is a weekly subscription box for food lovers.
I see. So there's the company HelloFresh, and this is Goodbye Spoiled.
Well, we don't mention our competitors.
Right.
You can cook the food. You can cook the
know
food
better.
that I didn't cook. That's past the expiration dates. So I don't play with expiration dates, but y'all do. I've seen the polls, and you guys pick on Keith every time he talks about that. So why not put the food to good use? Every week you get a box of gently used foodstuffs delivered right to your door, and then you make it yourself. And all it costs is $60 a box plus shipping and handling.
Wait, hold on. That's how much groceries cost.
And you save a lot of money. And use code last week, and you can pay $120 because you like me so much and you want me to have more money than normal. So just go to goodbyespoiled.com and put in code last week.
And when you pay double, the company sends you the money, Ron? How do you get it?
Yeah. The money. Well, the company is me. It's all coming to me.
Oh, right. Thank you very much. The ads are fantastic. Congratulations to all the nominees. Craig Klein, who just went off mute to cough. I want to thank you for your time. It was a pleasure.
Those buttons are real tricky. All right, that's all I have to say. It was a pleasure to be here. Shout out to Bianca, Brady. Shout out to Karen and Rod. Shout out to New Z2. The best shows. Anybody who doesn't have VIP yet, they're really crazy. They're the only podcast that I have time for in my life anymore, and they're all on one place.
That's it. Thank you, everybody. Let me get a little silence for the room noise, but thank you. Appreciate it very much. That's it. God bless you. Thank you, everybody who wrote into. That was very fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Good job, Keith, on the clips. I should have said that while we were on the show. Good job.
It's quite okay. It's quite okay.
Thanks, Craig, for being here, no matter how long it was going to take. So
that was fun.
Yeah, that was the criteria of being the guest for today. So thank you.
We're still playing poker tonight, right?
Yep. In the chat, everyone listening, KeithandtheGirl.com/chat. All right. Take us away. Is that Xerxes?
No,
shout out to Xerxes.
Take it away, Xerxes.
Nice.